This was our first rural trip in preparation for meetings in September. To try and put 1,000 men in Bulawayo to hear Brother Mickey share. And our goal is to mobilize the pastors around Zimbabwe and to bring them to an awareness now. So it's one thing to talk to the pastors in the cities, but to go to the rural areas. And we realized that in order to do that, we need to go and camp there, be with them, not arrive and leave, but pitch a tent. So for that purpose, we've now acquired a camping trailer with a tent on top. When you arrive and you just do a meeting and leave, there's no interaction, there's no personal contact. It's almost like you're advertising something. If you go and camp there and stay there and you eat with the folk, they have time to talk, time to discuss, but you send a signal, and that is, they're important. And we appreciate them, and we are serious about what we do. And so it also gives us a lot more time for their questions to come up and for us to see what's really going on.
Turn right onto Herbert Chitoko Street, A9.
When you are traveling, there's very little time to properly rest. You're either traveling, you're in a foreign place, you're sleeping in foreign situations, you're dealing with people all the time. Your time is not your own. And so it's a continual movement, and it'd be very good for young people to come with us. I mean, we went to Matari. We left at 5:15, drove there, and we got to the meeting into Matari just after 9. And Rich Wilshire drove us, and I just said to him, Rich, I'm so tired, I can hardly lift my feet, and I've got 2 meetings to do. I said, look on your phone and find me a coffee shop near this place. And there was one block down, a nice one. So we went down there and we had a big cappuccino with peanuts and raisins and things like that. And then the engine kicked in, dang. And so by the time we went back, we were ready. Adrenaline kicked in for the meetings, and we were awake until we got home at 7 o'clock that night. But it's a long day. It's 600 Ks of driving. It's meetings, it's pastors, it's questions, it's everything you can imagine. In Dombashava, because we stayed and they were talking, we realized that after the first day, there were some very deep-rooted issues in the community. So the next day, we took meetings relating to those issues. And they loved it. Because we put it on the table, we explained it in the context of the gospel, it really helped them. And that's the benefit of being there. Whereas for Matari, we drove there, took 2 meetings, and drove back on the same day. We had planned to stay, but we'd finished early. Fortunately, in Matari, we changed the venue, and we had a different group of men, and more of the city fathers came. And this time, they got really excited. One of the leaders sat next to me, and he said, I want every leader all the leaders in Zimbabwe to hear what you have to say. Because it is what we are missing, and it's where our churches have gone astray.
We are watchmen. A watchman sees the thief coming. The watchman discerns right and wrong. The watchman has a voice that says to the people, this is the way of the Lord.
Can I say they were confronted? In other words, they realized in both cases things that they have let creep into the church that should not be there. And now the question is, what do we do with it? Okay? So the one subject we dealt with in Dombashava was witchcraft in the church. Now it may not seem a big issue, but there it was very real because of the cultural influence that witchcraft has on the culture there and how it's crept into the church. And so once we put it on the table in the context of the gospel, they were excited, they were very excited, but they were like, oops, we've got a problem. We have to go home and deal with it. Because it's one thing sitting in a meeting and seeing, it's another thing going home and having the theological depth to address it. That's why they want us back. So I don't feel that we are pushing against resistance. I feel this time we're gathering men, building bridges, building relationships, gathering men. I find it exciting, I do. You know, if I can use a picture, especially in Dobashawa. The picture I had was a potato farmer taking a plow and putting it into the ground and all the potatoes popping out next to him. And as we did the meetings, all these hidden things in the churches were popping out. I felt like pop, 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 pop. And now we had to discuss them. And that's what happened. We put the plow in. It wasn't just a case of someone arrive and talk about a theory. We got into how they think, into how they live, and all the potatoes were popping out. And that's my goal, is to deal with practical issues, things they can take home with them, so that we whet their appetite to say, come to the big conference, because it'll change your lives.